Hi everyone, welcome to yet another episode of Judge Interactive. Judge Interactive is a thought leadership platform of Judge India Solutions. Judge India Solutions is a 100% subsidiary of the Judge Group, a seasoned international professional solutions provider with a legacy of 50 plus years. We provide solutions for prestigious global brands that include over 60 of Fortune 100 companies. With delivery centers located in Noida, Bangalore, and Hyderabad, we aim to make businesses future ready with the help of our state of the art AIML RPA, technology, learning, e governance, and talent solutions. Today's topic is strategic employee engagement. Strategic employee engagement is the deliberate and planned effort by an organization to connect with its employees emotionally. They want employees to care about the company's mission, values, and goals. This involves creating a work environment where employees are excited, committed, and motivated. Most companies achieve this through clear communication, skill development, recognition, and a supportive workplace that eventually leads to happier employees, better work, and ultimately making the company more successful. Our special guest is Professor Pronoy Dutt. Professor Pronoy currently serves as the General Manager and Head of Human Resources at Uttam Toyota. He is a distinguished alumnus of the Tata Institute of Social Sciences and Institute of Management Technology and brings over 23 years of expertise in human resource and training. He is also certified as a Gallup Strengths Performance Coach and Gallup SRI Interview Specialist. Professor Pronoy has a track record of successful management consulting, training, and coaching for renowned organizations like Aditya Birla Group, Tata Motors, KFC, IBM, etc. So, Professor Pronoy, thank you so much for joining us. So, we'll start with the questions now. So, my first question is, how do you articulate the idea of employee engagement?
Thank you so much, firstly, for the invitation, and it's really an honor to be here. So, employee engagement is the psychological commitment that an employee has towards his or her organization, the role that the person carries on. It's a it's a spirit that a person has. That how do I go the extra mile? How do I make my company number one? How do I make my department number one? How do I make my team number one? It is all about taking the extra initiative. It is all about the psychological commitment. It's all about the emotional bonding. It's all about how can I make a difference. It is not saying what the company does for me. It is like what can I do for the company. So it's all about thinking for the organization and being aligned with the organization 24 into 7.
Great. So why do you think it's important today? In today's world, why is it so important to to have employee engagement?
So it's very, very important. Today, it's a very competitive world. There is a war for talent. And if you have to be a great place to work, you need to have your employees who are engaged. And it is very important to create a great place to work because that's how you get customer retention. That is how you get profitability. That is how you get revenue growth year on year. So it is something you don't have a choice. If you have to go from good to great, if you have to go from a national company to an international company, you must focus on employee engagement. It's a strategic lever to ensure that you get the best. To give you an example, an organization could be like a Ferrari. But if you don't
Mhm.
have the best fuel in the Ferrari will not move ahead, right? So if you want to have a best car with the highest technology, you need to have the best fuel. So employee engagement is the fuel which makes the difference for a company achieving all its business outcomes and success.
Great, amazing answer, Pranay. So, Pranay, fostering employee engagement has been major part of your work in various companies. Why did you focus on involving employees as HR professional?
It is very important to involve the employees. In fact, when a new person joins the company, they need to be aligned with the organization. They need to be aligned with the values. They need to be aligned with what the organization stands for. For example, currently I'm heading HR for Uttam Toyota. So when I look at a person when he joins the company, we look at things like values, like integrity. That is something which is non-negotiable. The person must be doing the right thing all the time. Number two is initiative. The person must take initiative. Third, person must be intelligent. And it is not only having the technical know-how, but also the emotional quotient, understanding how to work with other people. So it's very, very important that we need to involve people every day. And it is not a one-time activity, it's a constant activity. It has to be done as a dynamic concept because business evolves. Business environment changes every Second, so you need to ensure that every employee is committed and involved 100%. And they must always think, how do I make my organization better than before?
Right, the sense of commitment should be there, right? That yes,
Yes,
I want to do something for my organization, right? Uh, that is what they should think about, right? Great. So again, because
absolutely.
I would like to learn more about it, and people who are watching this would like to learn more about it. So how did you augment involvement of employees in various companies you earlier worked for? If you can share certain examples, that
Sure.
would be great.
Surely. So when I was heading HR for Costa Coffee India, so the first thing I did, even before a person would join the company, I would do something called as realistic job review. It's like a trailer to a movie. So before the person joined, we would say, why don't you come and spend one day in one of our cafes? Observe how do we work, how do we treat our guests, how do we ensure the best practices in customer service and guest service. And we would also take feedback from the co-workers who are working in that cafe, that this person who we are planning to hire, is he a team player, does he take initiative, is he a person who is naturally curious about learning the systems processes. And only when we would get a go ahead from all the team members in the cafe, then only we would issue the letter of intent. Once the person would come on board, we would have a great onboarding mechanism to ensure that they get role clarity. They ensure their job, they ensure the job of all the colleagues, all the other departments. So the important part was that every person is groomed for leadership. So today, if I'm joining Costa Coffee as a customer care executive, how do I groom him to be a shift manager in next 3 years, a store manager or a restaurant manager in next 5 years, a area manager in 10 years, a regional manager in 15 years, or a CEO in 20 years? So that induction starts from first day, and the idea is that whenever there is a new role that comes in, first look for internal talent, offer them the learning and development opportunities, and then grow them upwards. So it's very, very important to involve people, trust them, and to also see that whatever career aspirations they have, whatever goals they have, as an organization, we should not only hire them for the current role, but we should also have next two roles ready for them over the next 5 years where they can graduate. And if we can't offer next two roles next 5 years, we should not hire that person, because otherwise we'll not get the right talent. So it's very, very important to only take those people who have a teachable attitude and people who can scale up for higher responsibilities over the years.
Right, and it's good for both organization as well as the employee, right? They also have this vision of growing in the organization, right? They can see that how actually I can grow, and it's very important that
Absolutely.
as an employee that we know that how if I do a great job, how I will actually scale up in this company, right? So I think it's a great
Absolutely.
practice that companies can follow. So Pronoy, would you like to share some of the interventions that promoted involvement of employees in organizations?
Yes. So this is an example again from Costa Coffee. So I had a system that I introduced of having a career board. A career board was something where every employee could select three people in the company who can mentor them for growth, who can ensure that whenever an opportunity comes up in the company, they are looked at for the opportunity for an internal job posting, or they looked in from a role enhancement perspective. So this is the initiative that we've taken to see that we must develop our talent to take future roles and responsibilities. And by doing that, the attrition, which is 130%, came down to 31% within 9 months, which is the industry best, not only within the retail sector in India, but worldwide is one of the best numbers that we could achieve by ensuring that we offer a career path to the employees by creating a career board where there would be senior stakeholders who would mentor the employees for future career advancement.
Oh, I mean, so initially from day one onwards, you're saying that we have senior employees taking care of the person who has joined the company, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
The
nice.
idea is that uh, the employee, when he joins the company, it's like a new bride. When a new bride gets married, when she comes to the home, it's like a red carpet welcome. So similarly, when a new employee comes, it's like a festival. And we like to tell the employee that it's extremely tough to get selected. For every 500 people who have applied, only one gets selected. So now it's extremely rewarding to give you a culture which is high performance, high growth, and we believe in you. And the fact that you have been selected It means that you are the best for the role, and over the next 5 years, we are committed to your success.
Great example, I think. I mean, that is how we should treat, our new joinees or new employee. That is how they'll feel endeared, right? So, yeah, great example, Professor Pronoy.
Thank
Great.
you.
So now, my next question is, how do you see employee engagement practices in India? And what is your view on that?
So I would say, because I've been a Gallup consultant for employee engagement. Gallup is one of the world's number one companies to do research on employee engagement. So I have seen practices in Europe, in Middle East, in South Asia, and and USA also. So I would say India is doing quite good. If I look at the relative part of it, we are doing pretty good. There is still some more area of improvement. If I look at data today, almost 20% people in India are actively engaged. They are giving the 100% to see how do we build up a world class organization. The challenge is that we have about 60% people who are in the not engaged category. For them, they're just doing the minimum right now to keep their jobs alive, and they are only looking at doing the minimum to keep the job. And if we can motivate them and if we can inspire them to go the extra mile, then we can probably see an increase of about 30 to 40% increase in the profitability of a company. So today in India, employee engagement is doing quite good, yet there is room for further improvement. Areas where we're very good is role clarity. We have well defined job descriptions, we have well defined key responsibility areas. We also understand KPIs, key performance indicators, where the managers are able to coach the employees that what are the 20% activities which will give you 80% results, following a Pareto principle by having a focused approach. Companies today have a balanced scorecard based performance management system, which is also quite good. So we are not only measured on financial measures but also non-financial measures. Customer is very important, process is very important, people is very important. What I really would like to acknowledge is that today, uh, to be a successful line manager or a head of department, whether it's marketing or finance or manufacturing, R&D, not only technical expertise, you have to be a very good people manager. And as you go higher in the system, you need to be a good people manager, because you need to understand how to get the best out of the team. So team is together everyone achieves more, all for one for all. So it's very, very important that today, when it comes to learning and development, there's a lot of focus. The areas where a little bit of work is required to be done is to create a culture where people feel very secure. They feel that they have job security, they feel they have a career path. Some good companies would be like Tata's, Infosys, um, Genpact, IBM, where they always believe in training the employees to see that they grow for higher levels. So I would say employee engagement is doing quite good, but more focus required in terms of ensuring that there's stability of employment, long-term growth, internal job transfers, more role, opportunities to excel in your role. So maybe it could be a role integration where there are multiple roles combined into one role, or it could be a role in enlargement, higher responsibilities. So this is where I feel that a lot of other work is required, especially the CEO buy-in is very important. The CEO must be a person who is a people leader, who understands that people make the difference. Today, if you want to have a competitive edge, it's the culture of excellence, the culture of people centricity, which will ensure that you're number one. It's not the building that makes you a great place to work. It is the people in the building who makes it a great place to work. So that is what I would like to share. Yeah,
No, well said, Pronoy. I completely agree with you, and some great insights. I'm sure people who are watching this or who will watch this, would love these insights. And you're right. One has to be a people manager, right? Because whatever you do in whatever field, whatever domain, you have to work along with people, right? So it's very
yes,
important that you know how to work along with people, right? And produce great results. So
absolutely.
great. So my next question is, Pronoy, can you elaborate on how your organization defines the culture of excellence and its significance in achieving strategic employee engagement and empowerment?
Great. So currently at Uttam Toyota, we are the most admired company for all the employees and all the guests. So for all our employees are very, very critical. You know, they are most important. We believe in their success. Over the last 20 years, we've always seen that an employee who joins us, they get all the opportunities to learn and grow. They get all the career advancement. We believe a lot in terms of respect for talent. We believe everybody is uniquely different, but we need to respect them for the uniqueness that they bring to the organization. We believe that we need to be humble. We need to be somebody who believes in high human values, high professional values. We are, as a company, we would always believe that employees are the asset which is most valuable, and we need to take care of our employees, their family. And today, if I look at my average tenure, my employees have an average tenure of almost 15 years. We work on a concept of R to R, recruitment to retirement. So a person joins us and they grow. We have examples where sales officers are today working as director, you know, in the company, which is the highest level. So we always believe that today we must grow our employees. In fact, all our managers, uh, 40% of their success is in how they are able to engage their employees, how in their team, and not only their team, also how much focus they are in terms of internal customer orientation, in terms of ensuring that whatever work they're doing, the departments that are depending on them have the best experience. So this is one area where it's a family, it's a team, it's a sense of belongingness, that together we work on a concept of all for one, one for all, and we ensure that everybody grows together. And as a company, we are ensuring that all the career aspirations, dreams are fulfilled of all the employees.
Perfect, great. So Pronoy, every organization has some strategies, right? So what strategies does your organization employ to ensure the employees feel empowered to take ownership of their work and contribute to the company's success?
Great. So for us, strategy is like long-term planning. So with the element of surprise. So what we do is every. I mean, I'll give an example today itself. So today we saw there's an opportunity which has come up in our company, of a new role has come up. So the first thing we thought is that why we should not go outside and hire somebody. Let's see if somebody in the team could be groomed for that level. So I had a discussion with the general manager, and we saw that yes, let's take a person who is an executive, and this role is of an assistant manager. We tell him that, see, normally from an executive to an assistant manager takes about 3 years, but we have seen the talent that you have. Talent for us is a recurring pattern of thoughts, feelings, and behavior which are productively applied. So we see that you're a person who has so much of initiative, so much of drive, passion. So you don't have to wait for 3 years. We give you 3 months, a 100-day plan. In next 100 days, you perform, achieve all the KRAs, key responsibility areas, achieve all the KPIs, and if you do that, we put you in a fast track and we promote you to the next level in the next appraisal cycle. So this is an example where once this person is able to do good work, he is able to have a swift career advancement. And that is something which is an example for others, that yes, if he can do it, we can also do it. So as a company, we are always trying to see how do we achieve breakthrough results as a way of life. How do we ensure that we achieve something which is beyond the ordinary? And that is how, as a culture, we have a sense of urgency, a sense to make a difference, a sense to make our customers delighted, and to make our employees amazed. So that every day, our endeavor is that they wait for nights to get over to come to work the next morning with all the enthusiasm and all the energy.
Completely makes sense, Pranay. Thank you so much for that great insight. So, so again, you're talking about different initiatives, right? And it's very important that when you are in an organization, you also try to, you know, track the effectiveness of any initiative that you take, right? So, how do
Yes.
you measure the effectiveness of your employee engagement initiatives? Are there any key performance indicators you track to gauge their impact? I mean, how exactly you do
Yes.
it?
Absolutely. For us, employee engagement is a lead indicator. So if you're doing good on employee engagement, there are some KPIs which must show a positive, uh, improvement. So the KPIs that we monitor here are things like per employee profitability. We look at revenue growth year on year. We look at absenteeism. So we see there's a significant decline of over 30% when people are engaged, they don't get absent. We see attrition numbers. We are the lowest in our industry. People never would like to leave us. We see customer delight scores. Customers give us excellent feedback. 80%, we are into car selling, we sell Toyota cars. 80% of my customers are repeat customers. They are absolutely delighted, with our guest service, out of the world, outstanding guest service. So we see, in terms of outcomes, profits significant increase, revenue significant increase, attrition significant decrease, quality excellent, innovation, number of ideas. We are Japanese. We follow the Japanese management concept of kaizen, continuous improvement. So number of initiatives that comes from quality is the maximum. So I would say the KPIs are measurable, and we can see positive outcomes of about 25% increase on a year-on-year basis.
Great. So, I mean, it's a lot of KPIs, right? And I think it's good if you have a lot of KPIs, you're able to track them well, and you're able to address them as well in case, there's some challenge around them.
Yes.
Great. So, Professor Pronoy, I think, we would, keep on, I mean, we can keep on, listening to you, some amazing insights, right? But I understand, in the interest of time, we have to let you go as well. So, before I let you go, my one last question, that would definitely help all the, people who would watch this video. Could you share an example of a successful initiative that led to a tangible improvement in employee engagement while also contributing to the organization's strategic objectives?
Right. So I can come to my initial, one of my initial part of my career when I was heading HR for Costa Coffee. So when I took over the responsibility in 2009, I saw my attrition was very, very high. In fact, people would leave before they, complete the first year. So, so what I could notice is that people are leaving the company in the first week, second week, 3 months, and 9 months. If anybody would cross 9 months, they would stay for a longer time. So the minute I took over the responsibility, I launched a program called the Great Onboarding process, where I said that every manager will be accountable for ensuring a good positive experience for every new recruits who join the company. So the first day when we had an induction program, I would invite the CEO, the head of departments, to welcome the new recruits, tell them about the organization, what are the values. For example, one of the value was ownership, teamwork, growth, profitability. So we said these values are so important that you must think that you are like a CEO of your role. You are like a chief executive officer for whatever role you are going to perform, and you have to give your best every single day. Then we ensured that from first day, we put them into a training program. For example, if I had a customer care executive, and I know that this person is a person, a fresher, has just given class 10th or 12th and has joined us, we will say the next 2 years, we'll prepare you as a shift manager. So don't look at the money we're paying you right now. This is like minimum wage money. Consider this like a stipend. Your real money would be you study, you prepare, you do good work. In 2 years, you become a shift manager. So that motivation would ensure that 80% of my population were not leaving the company because they felt that this is a company that is investing in our learning and development, in our training, giving us opportunity to excel. So we would not leave the company. So my attrition came down. We were the lowest. And all the managers felt that you have a trained workforce. So if I have seven manpower, let's say strength of seven manpower for a particular cafe, now I can have only five. So less is more. So the per employee profitability increased, and because that increased, the increments, appraisals, everything was very, very high. So the idea that I wanted to share here was that if you give a good onboarding experience, the strategic objectives, whether it's profitability, whether it's revenue growth, is all possible. Only thing is the employees must ensure that they give their best every single day, and they must have the psychological commitment and ownership that how do I build an organization which is world class, customer centric, and talent powered.
So, Professor Pronoy,
Yes.
thank you so much for this insightful session, and would love to have more such sessions in future, and especially if we can do this in person, nothing like that. So, we look forward to have you in person and do such sessions. That would be great. So any last words before we let you go, Professor Pronoy?
Sure. Thank you so much, Mark. It was really an honor to be here, and would love to come and share more insights. Maybe conduct a strategic employee engagement workshop for an hour. Um, it's only thing I would like to share here is that for companies to be great, people are most important, and for people, engagement is very important. So it's very, very important today that a person must be engaged to the organization and to the mission. So a person must see that how is their role connected to the organizational purpose. I'll give you an example. When I was working as a Gallup consultant way back in 2007, I'd gone for an employee engagement survey, and this is at the Hero Honda plant that time at Gurgaon. So I would see there was a gardener who would every day come early in the morning, and would do the best landscaping possible. So I asked him that, I'm seeing that, you have so much of passion and, so much of positivity. So what drives you? What is the motivating factor? So he said that, sir, Hero Honda is the world's number one two-wheeler company. We manufacture the largest number of bikes. So when Honda delegates come from Japan, from Tokyo to Gurgaon, they must understand that we have a world-class manufacturing plant, and if you're making world-class manufacturing plant and which makes the best bikes, so my landscaping should also be world-class. It should be so good that they have never seen it in anywhere in the planet. So that is what I always see, that how do I ensure the best landscaping is done, the best horticulture. So when the Japanese delegates come to Gurgaon, they feel that this is something that speaks of quality par excellence. So this is why I feel that today the employees are most critical for ensuring the companies are successful.
Oh, great example. I think this is how you're right. Any employee should think like that. I mean, great example, Pranoy.
Thank you so
Love
much.
that.
Thank you. Thank
Great,
you.
so Pranoy, thank you so much for the session, and look forward to having more such sessions in the future. Thank you so
Surely
much.
my honor,
Take
privilege.
care.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Good night.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.